guys, just like that, the first month of 2023 is over. That's absolutely insane. We haven't done a monthly wrap-up in a while, so we're so excited to sit down today and talk about all the books we read in January.
Honestly, this wasn't the best start of the year for me. I think I'm only like one book behind schedule.
I am too. That's what I was going to say. For my goal, I have to be reading 8 books a month, and I only read 7 this month. So somehow I'm already falling behind, but not by a lot.
We did do a reading vlog this month, so those books are included today. And we did finally read Project Hail Mary, so we will go over that in a little bit.
So I started off this year with an Otessa Moshfegh, my first book by her. This was my year of rest and relaxation, a perfect one to start the year with. I don't know exactly how I feel about this book. I did love the writing. I want to read more of this author throughout this year. I just don't know how I feel about the ending of this book. It reminds me of how I felt after I read Bunny by Mona Awad. You have a story about a girl in her mid-20s kind of just trying to navigate her life, dealing with grief and depression, and she's slowly spiraling in her own self-destruction. I liked that aspect, and when she hatches this plan to kind of deal with everything she's going through, I thought we were going to see a lot of the repercussions of her actions, and you just don't really get that. So the ending, to me, felt unfinished. It was kind of unrealistic to me that everything just worked out the way she wanted it to, and now it's over. I don't know, I didn't connect with the end as much as I did the rest of the story. I think I gave it a 3.75, but it would have been a 4 if the ending was just a little different for me.
Okay, so my first book for 2023 was Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Big shocker. I loved it so much. I love everything she writes. We all know this by now. She can just always get me like completely engaged in any story she writes. So I know I had to start the year off with a book by her. The plot, the characters, and the setting were so easy to understand and imagine. And I really loved reading about Nina and her relationship with her father. I thought it was so cute and wholesome. The whole plot is revolved around tennis, but the writing does explain what's going on very well, so anyone can enjoy it. I was trying to hold off for the paperback version to come out, but I just couldn't wait anymore, and once Barnes & Noble had that 50% off hardback sale, I was all in. I'm so glad I finally read it. I did give this one a 4.5 star. It was probably one of my top 3 books from Taylor Jenkins Reid.
The next one I read was a YA mystery thriller, and this one was so good. I think I even put in my Goodreads review that I thought it was fantastic. I read it in one sitting. This is 5 Survive by Holly Jackson, and I mean, I was really impressed. I did not expect to read it in one sitting. I kind of just sat down, and then I realized I couldn't stop. And I think it's because I'm very much a fan of stories that take place in one room. I know a lot of people don't love that because sometimes it can read a little slow, but there was so much dialogue. I just really enjoyed it. Basically, you have 6 friends and they're on a road trip in this RV. They end up getting stranded and they spend the next 8 hours in this RV. There's a sniper. They have to figure out why they're there and why they're being targeted. It is so good. Although I have seen a lot of people who are huge fans of Good Girl's Guide to Murder not really loving this book. I don't know if they're trying to compare it too much. I don't think it's as complex as that story. That might be why, since it is like one setting, you're in a room, 8 hours, it's just the people we have there, and I believe this was 3rd person. Either way though, I still really enjoyed it. I couldn't predict the plot twists. I know a lot of people said they could. However, if you like her writing, I would say just read it, see how you feel. I think they set this up to have a sequel too, and if she does that, I will 100% read it because I thought the way it ended was so good.
The next one I read was The Resurrection of Wildflowers, and after reading the first book, the cliffhanger on that one was so good that I've been so ready to get back into the story to see what's gonna happen, how everything's gonna play out. This one was just a complete roller coaster of emotions. Sometimes I was laughing, sometimes I was crying, sometimes I was just shocked. I did really enjoy the way everything ended, and I did give this one a 4 stars. Nikki did gift me the first one, and I really loved that one, so thank you so much for getting me into the story. I definitely want to read more by this author.
The next one, you guys, I've got to talk about this one. I picked it up last night at 8 p.m. and I read it in one sitting, and it is Saint by Adrienne Young. Okay, I get it. We talk about it a lot, okay? You guys know we love Adrienne Young. We love the Fable duology. This was the prequel. We've been talking about it so much because it just recently came out. But it was so good. It was so good, and honestly, I'm really upset that it's this short. I don't know if she plans to write a sequel to this. I doubt it since it's already a prequel, but I would love it if she did because I just need more. I got to learn more about her father and her parents and how they met and became who they are, and it was just so good.
You're making me excited to read it.
It was great. I mean, I'm never disappointed when I read Adrienne Young. I just wish there was more. I've heard her once say she would write in this universe for as long as she can, and I hope she continues to do it because it was fantastic. Adventure, love, fast-paced, entertaining read. Go read any of her books if you haven't already, but this series especially is so good.
Since you just talked about your most recent read, mine was The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This one was honestly really entertaining and like fast-paced, but I can't tell if it was because I read it in one sitting that I felt that way. And I also did guess the big like plot twist very early on, but I had a great time reading it. Like, it was actually pretty fun because even though I did guess what was gonna happen, I was very like interested in seeing how they were gonna go about it, like what's gonna happen after we figure this out. I think I really liked it though. Like,
Okay.
I can't tell if I'm gonna give it a 3.5 because I did guess it, or a 4 because I was still entertained. The sequel is coming out next month, and while I was reading this, I was kind of confused on what it could possibly be about, but after reading those last 2 pages, I finally understand. I did really like the main character, Millie. I know the story's gonna keep following her, so I do think I'm pretty interested in reading the next one that comes out next month. I don't know, I think I'm gonna give it a 4 star because I'm not gonna do 3.75, I just can't.
Okay, that's for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, speaking of 3.75.
Was it really?
I think so. I read the next book in the Never After series by Emily McIntyre. This one was Scarred. It was basically like a Lion King reimagining, but was it really? Here's the thing that I've realized about these books, okay? This is the second book in the series. Are they the best things I've ever read? No, not by any means, but they do sure keep me entertained. And what more can you ask for? You know what I mean? In a short, dark romance read, like that's all I really want, is to be entertained. And I do always really like these stories. The one issue I had about the first book in the series, I had the same issue here where the ending just feels so rushed. I don't know why. The pacing of the entire book is fine, and then you get to the last like 90% of the book and they are just speed rounding you with conclusion, and I hate that because I feel like we've built up pretty perfect, following these characters, the plot, everything's wrapped up real perfect in the conclusion, which is fine. Now that I know what to expect, quick endings, I think I'll be fine reading the rest of the series. I did like it. I think I am gonna do 3.75. I do like though that this one took place like in a castle. They were kings, queens. It felt very fantasy-esque even though it's not a fantasy. But if you're a fan of fairy tale villains getting their happy endings, but they're still very much villains, this is the one for you. Do check trigger warnings though, because this series does get pretty dark.
Okay, next is the one that you guys have been waiting for like over a year now. We finally read it. It is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir.
Very on brand of me. I already lost the dust jacket, but she is Project Hail Mary, I promise. Right off the bat, what I found interesting was you read this book in maybe 3-4 days, and it took me a month to read this book. I think though, because I was reading other books in between, this was a good break. Because we don't read sci-fi, it was a nice place to go back to and like have a change of genre.
I also did listen to the audiobook while reading it, and that was fantastic. Like one of my favorite audiobooks I've listened to. That narrator was excellent. I think he truly made the story better for me. Just him acting, you know, like sometimes there was some humor in it, sometimes it was like serious, and he just did so well. I was shocked. I was like, this man needs to do all kinds of audiobooks. He's amazing. But I will say there was a lot of like scientific talk in there, and it was pretty intimidating at first, especially with the audiobook. Anytime he was talking about scientific stuff, I just let it go. Like even if I don't understand.
I was just more impressed about how much research had to have gone into this. The knowledge this author must have had already on the subject to write this in depth was insane to me. Remarkable, this man. Is he a scientist?
I would trust him to save the earth.
I mean, is Andy Weir actually a scientist? Because this stuff was incredible, the stuff he was writing about. At the root of the story, you have this really realistic, horrifying, massive issue that is threatening humanity. But the story is just so much more than that. You have friendship and coming to terms with who you are, heroism, and so much more. We love Rocky.
Love Rocky.
He was such a great addition to the story. I heard that people who read The Martian beforehand, though, thought they were very similar, and that's a big reason why they didn't like this book. We didn't read that one yet, so there's nothing for us to really compare it to, but I just thought this one was really good.
I didn't expect his relationship with Rocky to be like so cute, but like funny at the same time. They had so many cute and funny moments that I was like, you guys really have me out here laughing.
And when I first went into this story, I don't know why I kept thinking it was gonna be kind of like a thriller because there was this huge mystery. You didn't know why he was in space, and I thought it was gonna be kind of scary, but this was nothing like that. It was so wholesome and so well told.
The ending was fantastic.
I cried. You said the movie adaptation's already coming.
Oh, the movie adaptation's already coming, and they have casted Ryan Gosling to play Ryland, which is insane. I mean, we've already seen Ryan Gosling play an astronaut, and he did really fantastic at that, so I'm sure he's not gonna let us down.
Overall, really good. I love that this was our first sci-fi read. I don't know how often I would pick up this genre though, because it took me forever to read. But if you guys have any other great recs in the sci-fi genre, please let us know. A lot of you guys were waiting for us to read it. I gave it 4 stars.
I also gave it 4 stars.
Okay, so we loved it, you guys. This was a great one. We had been trying to buddy read it for a year now. Definitely go listen to the legit audiobook. Because mine was just a robot, but she did it.
Well, she didn't do it right, I'll tell you that. I definitely recommend listening to the audiobook while reading it. It was like amazing. Okay, so the last books we have are the ones that we read in our reading vlog. You guys actually picked out these books for us to read. I think I pretty much enjoyed mine.
I think we liked all of them.
Yeah, didn't we?
Go watch that reading vlog if you want to know our full details and reactions while reading these books. I gave Lightlark a 4-star. This is a YA fantasy, super good. The adaptation is coming. And then Throttled by Lauren Asher is a sports contemporary romance. I think I gave it a 3.25.
So I did read The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, which is a mystery thriller. This is the second book I've read by Riley Sager, and I really love his writing. He always gets me with a plot twist. So I gave this one a 3.75, but I was just being picky. It could have been a 4. It should be a 4. I'm gonna go fix that on Goodreads. And then I started the Shatter Me series, YA dystopian, but then a lot of people are like, this isn't a dystopian, so I don't know.
So whatever you think it is.
Yeah, whatever you want to say it is, romance, whatever. I thought it was really good. I thought it was very good, actually. I gave it a 4 stars, and I'm really excited to keep reading the series.
That is all the books that we read in January.
I wish there was more.
I wish there was more. You know what? February is our month.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, though, a good start to the year with the quality of books that we read. Everything was pretty much 4 stars for us.
It's about the quality and not the quantity.
It's about the quality.
Mine is not hard at all to decide what is my favorite of the month.
What is yours?
Take a guess.
Your favorite of the... Oh, Taylor Jenkins Reid.
My favorite of the month was Carrie Soto is Back.
I don't know which one mine would be. It's gonna be between these 2 YA fantasy books. They were both so good. Lightlark really shocked me. It was written a little young, but still so good. And then Saint Adrian Young will always have my heart. Solid reads across the board though. Let us know, you guys, if you have read any of these and then what your favorite book was of January.
On Friday, we will be having our February TBR, but we are very excited for February. We have a lot of fun things coming out. We also might go on a little trip, and if we do, we'll take you guys with us and vlog the whole thing.
Go book shopping.
Of course, book shopping. A lot of you guys were saying you do want us to bring back the live reading sprints, so we will be doing a poll sometime
early February.
Sometime we'll do a poll and ask you guys kind of what week would work best for everyone.
That's a fun time to just read and chill and chat with you guys, so keep an eye out for that. All that being said, we do post new videos every week. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time. I don't want to say I think that why was because. Oh my god, these just match perfect.
They do.
Can you see my sock? It matches my little, oh my god. The first thing I do when I crack open a hardcover is take off the dust jacket. So who knows where she's at?
Well, that's that. It's about the quality and not the quantity.
It's about the quality.
And we had a good quality.
HD. I don't know which one mine would be.
John Mayer. You know what it's like.
Yeah.